I'm proud to introduce Larry Yates as our candidate for the House of Delegates in the Commonwealth of Virginia.
I support Larry Yates because he's for everyone. He has an interest in marginalized people and people who need extra support. I also support him for what he's not, and he is not a radical.
I think he will be one of the best legislators that we have elected in the last 5 years. I met Larry when he was working with Virginia Organizing and worked with him trying to get the health care law passed. And he is a wonderful organizer and very committed to helping people.
I support Larry Yates because I expect him to be a voice for those who aren't very good at articulating the needs for themselves, for the downtrodden, for the people who don't have the direct contact with the powers that be. And I think Larry cares about people, and I think he'll manifest that when he represents us in Richmond.
That I recognize a lot of integrity in Larry. He could have made his candidacy a lot easier by aligning himself with a national party, but he chose the independent route because he's tired of all the inter party fighting and wants to break that up by virtue of going down to Richmond and working in a bipartisan manner.
I've been working in the Winchester area on community action issues for the last 21 years. And I started on the board of Habitat for Humanity, and I've seen Larry over this time work with housing issues, work with the people in Virginia Organizing Project, and I've never seen anyone who's more focused on the issues and the needs of the people than Larry.
I support Larry because I like to have his voice down in Richmond representing the northern Shenandoah Valley.
And then I went on to stay friends with Ian Carroll and kind of watched his career doing community organizing, which I admired. Virginia Organizing Project, which I joined. Wasn't particularly active with it, but I was able to follow what he did and what they did all over the state. And then the prison, I was working with a prison group, I can't think of the name of it right now. And I've always been interested in prison reform and concerned about the death penalty, and he was working on those issues.
Larry truly cares about the people, and I think he would be a very good candidate and actually a very good delegate.
Well, I've known Larry for a really long time, and I find him to be extremely honest, extremely dedicated, very energetic, and he's a problem solver. He's a people person and a problem solver.
I support Larry Yates for delegate because I'm tired of the fighting that goes on between Democrats and Republicans. I want to elect someone who can get something done. Also, I feel that Larry Yates' platform is consistent with my values as a Christian.
It's because he is a real person and he has real ideas for real people. And he really wants to listen to you, and he wants to help you to do for yourself what needs to be done. And that's the reason that I think he is making a wonderful candidate.
Mi nombre es Víctor Hugo Ramírez y estoy aquí junto con nuestro amigo Larry Yates, comenzando su campaña para el 29 distritos del estado de Virginia. Él va a contender en las votaciones para ser electo. Él siempre nos ha ayudado a la comunidad latina, ha estado junto con nosotros tratando de ayudarnos en nuestros derechos aquí en la ciudad de Winchester. Él siempre nos ha dado la mano, siempre ha estado cerca de nosotros, y si alguien nos está escuchando en este video, pues acérquense para platicar con el candidato y le podamos dar el voto al favor de él. Gracias.
I'm a college professor in the 29th District of Virginia, and I support Larry Lamar Yates for delegate.
This is the kind of gentleman who does not come into your neighborhood and say, oh, I'm from the government and I'm here to help you. He's not a top-down kind of guy. He's the kind of guy that greets you, shakes your hand, looks you in the eye, and he says, how can I help you?
His views represent that of mine. and I feel that he'd be an excellent representative down in Richmond and would keep the interests of Frederick County, Northern Warren County, keep the constituents' ideas in mind.
He helps people with their problems and a problem solver.
For reasons of full disclosure, I'm married to Larry Yates, so I know him probably better than anybody else here. I'm fortunate that we've been together for almost 25 years, so I know him really well. And so I think that what I would want people to know about Larry in just a few seconds is that he has not only a brilliant mind and a great interest in history and knowing how the political system works, so he can be effective as a delegate, as an elected official, but he also has a big heart.
As a college student with autism, I feel that Larry best represents my own interests and the interests of the rest of the people of this district.
Well, I've known Larry for a few years after I moved to Winchester, and he's been a very positive influence and been involved in a number of different events and activities that I have been involved in, all focused on really improving things in the community. I know Larry is very committed and dedicated to helping to achieve improvement in the quality of life for all levels of individuals.
But you've got to talk to people that you know. You've got to talk to people that even that you don't know very well. And you've got to tell them that there is an alternative.